do, and generally speaking, that's a communication issue. The communication issues really surface when I'm not great at running my life, so who am I to be telling you what to do?
Okay.
So I can't get myself to go to the gym. I can't get myself to do the things that I need to do. You know, I eat a bit too much chocolate, I drink a bit too much red wine, and all of a sudden I'm the one telling you what you should be doing. So most of us experience guilt around leadership. And it's the whole kind of thing about, well, I'm no leader, like if you looked closely at me. And Stephen Covey, who just died recently, very famous for 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yep.
And habit number 2 is just the guts of the whole thing, and that is that personal victories have to precede public victories. So I've got to have a win with me before I can expect to have a win leading other people, because the truth is, without us exchanging any words, you can tell whether I'm walking my talk or not. And so following me is a question of, are you inspired? Now, if you're following me because I said so, that's going to be a disaster, because you're just doing what I told you, and you haven't had a chance to develop any faith, a sense in me knowing where I'm going, any of those sort of things. So really the best kind of leadership is what we call inspired leadership, and that is where I'm sure about where I'm going, and I'm sure enough about that to know that what I want you to do, you're well suited to it, you want to do it, you just need some guidance.
Okay.
And so if you can work on yourself in terms of being a person of your word. You know, most of us come unravel because when we make promises to other people, we keep them because that matters. But we don't keep those same promises to ourselves. So, you know, there's a lot of people sitting behind that screen out there who have said to themselves, right, I'm sick of this. Tomorrow morning I'm jumping out of bed and I'm running around the block, and I'm going to run around the block every morning till I get fit. And a different person wakes up in their bed the next morning and, you know, it's warm in here and it's cold out there, so I'll do that tomorrow. So, you know, if you owed me $100, I know that you would make sure I got it. But if you owed you time out, trip to the gym, massage, hair treatment, whatever, would you? Or would you make sure that the kids were fed and the mat was looked after and da-da-da-da-da-da, and in the list of important people in your life, guess who's last? So the list of important people in my life, guess who's last? So if my kids are struggling, I'm going to be there. I might be struggling, but I'll put my struggle aside. So I'm fond of saying that we plunder the resource. You know, I'm the only resource that I've got. Sure, I've got someone who loves me and who takes care of me and does all of those sort of things, but ultimately if I keep me up late and wear me out and work me too hard and don't give me enough rest, then I plunder the resource, and the resource fails to perform well, shows up crabby, doesn't do well, doesn't make good decisions. All of a sudden there's pressure on the business because the business is not doing what it needs to do because the resource is in poor condition. So it's really about having a win with yourself. We talk about getting these personal victories, but I say be a person of your word to yourself. No one else will know. You know, like if you don't pay somebody some money that you owe them, they will get over it. The person you owe the money to, they'll get over it. You know, they might write you off, but they'll get over it. But you won't, because forever and a day in your mind, you didn't do the right thing. No matter how you justify it, internally, your self-esteem takes a dip. And so doing the right thing is easy when we do the right thing by others. I'm saying the really exotic version, the really powerful version, the very, very successful people do the right things by themselves as well as do the right thing by others. There's no need to do less of the right thing by others to be able to do more of the right thing by self. It's not an either or thing, it's a do this and do this. So leadership becomes difficult when I don't have faith in me because I know my track record and it's not to flash. And I don't want you to find out about all the things that I've messed up or that I've said or done that I'm ashamed of, so we won't talk about that. So you don't really get to know me because you only get this kind of dry, cleaned version. So there's a bit of bond not there. The truth is, when we're completely authentic, then people can relate to us. So leadership gets messed up when we try and do it a certain way.
I see, yeah.
So we follow some rules about leadership, then that isn't going to work. What's going to work is your style of leadership, being authentic to you and doing it in the way that works for you, because someone else can say that's not a very effective form of leadership, but that's someone writing a textbook, mate.